I'm gonna be eating some garlic bread while I do this. So like if I mute my microphone and just not respond, that'll be why. If you see my mouth moving.
Yeah, don't worry.
Nah.
I actually started recording. Hi guys, it's TheAshJester here with PrezKoumori and Mr.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Yeah,
Go.
we were just talking about garlic bread. That's the
Yeah,
best way to get
yeah,
started, right?
yeah. The best
Oh
way to get
yeah.
started. But
All
yeah,
right.
we got all your questions and all that. We've got a decent amount, and we've got life updates for everybody too. So yeah,
Uh,
come join us. We'll do life updates first. Who wants to start?
Tommy does.
Tommy does.
of course.
Of
Okay.
course.
I was like, please don't pick me.
What's up, Tommy?
I've been busy with work and stuff. I've been doing a lot of digital art recently. Uh, Also been kind of working on the preliminary stages for a new project
Yup.
that by the time this goes up, you'll probably have already seen what it is.
Oh yeah, definitely. Hopefully.
Yeah, follow Tommy on Twitter. Go follow his stuff. You can see his artwork over there.
Yep, and my unapologetic simping because I know it's gonna come up at some point.
Yeah, unapologetic simping for one of my friends. Yes, it's all good, Tommy. I understand.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. Me personally, well, I just recently moved to Southern California about a year ago. I lived in northern Wisconsin for the entirety of my life until summer of last year, making the decision shortly after a flight from Washington, D.C. But since then, I've been working at a new job. I feel like everything's going pretty well. Um, Simply put, yeah, I'm actually playing Magic: The Gathering semi-professionally now. I'm eating W's in tournaments. Just won $600 in a big RCQ in Los Angeles. About 100 players. I ended up making. I think it was top four in that.
You were so yeah, you
Yeah,
were
and we
fourth
split of
place.
like $600 out of those the final four. So I made just about as much money as I could have made without actually winning the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then I ended up making top eight in another one the next week in Temecula. So yeah, so far so good in my semi-professional career. We're eating W's and getting money.
Are you also learning how to become a judge too? On top of that.
Oh yeah, I am also a level 1 judge as
Yeah.
of a month or two ago. That's another thing too.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I saw an image of that. I've been
I've been grinding so much as
yeah.
a player. I kind of forgot about that, to be
Yeah. It's like
honest.
well, yeah. I guess
Yeah.
becoming a judge is a little bit of a big thing. Um,
Yeah.
I've been basically just doing nothing. Kind of. My grandfather had a stroke, so I moved into my grandparents. Is where I'm currently living at. It's been spending time trying to take care of him for the last 2.5 years, 3 years. So that obviously I started up my own Twitch, doing my own thing, became a VTuber. Obviously, we're not using my model right now. But,
Oh yeah, I stream too, but
yeah, yeah,
not
yeah,
super frequently.
yeah. I stream like 4 times a week now. Sometimes set schedules switch. But yeah, I'm currently looking for a part-time job, learning to drive. But yeah, life's been a little rough, but doing better. Going to therapy and such, and fixing things up. Planning to do a lot of cool stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it's been it. So we got questions. So we'll start off with Prez from 55 Gaming and Productions. What are you doing after Excalibur?
Well, I guess I touched base on this a little bit going into my personal life events here. After I finish with episode 40 of Excalibur, because we know it's all going to happen eventually. I'm still working on it, of course. I would like to hopefully try and close out the series with episode 40. I don't think it's a secret at this point that I'm, kind of trying to move on from Excalibur at this point. I might try to do maybe an epilogue episode, maybe like an episode 41, something like that, if I end up finding the time to do that thing. But regardless to that, I think once I'm done with Excalibur, I'd like to try and maybe transform the channel a little bit to do some Magic the Gathering type content. Corey Baumeister in particular was a big inspiration. Maybe do some deck tech stuff like that. If I can maybe live stream some of my personal matches, that would also be pretty cool. But yeah, I'm sure a lot of people would understand because it's just moving from one TCG to another. Just maybe try to transform the channel a little bit and just keep up with some of the things that I'm just doing right now in that sense.
Oh yeah, yeah. Life's been busy after moving. For
Yeah,
Tom.
it's what I enjoy nowadays. I guess it's an easy
Oh yeah,
plug-in, right?
exactly. Yeah. It's one TG's to another. All right, for Tom by 55 Gaming and Productions. Opinions on Link monsters today.
If you had asked me during Master Rule 4, I would have said I kind of hate them, but now they're just there. It's like they didn't do what they set out to do, and now they're just kind of a background thing at this point.
All right. For me,
I come through okay?
you're coming through right just fine.
Alright, because sometimes my computer will decide to look up a
I'll
little
let
bit.
you know if I need you to repeat the question.
Alright.
Or the answer. All right. 55 Gaming asks me, what are some plans you have for Excalibur? Did they happen or not? Majority of the plans I've had did go through. Obviously, the build up for press for Sean, unfortunately, may not happen due to the fact of time restrictions. But that's why that huge heel turn was a thing. Otherwise, yeah, a lot of stuff, and the stuff that I didn't do, we'll be keeping that a secret because I have plans for it later on with Tom and possibly myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, then back to Prez. Let me scroll back up. Forgot this is a touchscreen, and it's very touchy.
It's me.
It's me. What was your favorite joke in YGO Excalibur? Also, Prez, what is your favorite Xyz monster by Jamie Nolan?
Okay, yeah, so this one's kind of a two-parter.
Yup.
Well, a lot of the jokes in Excalibur weren't as necessarily intended as jokes, but just little funny things that people saw in the scripts with just simple dialogue. The main go-to that I see a lot on the internet, I think it was episode 30, with Prez versus Light Prez. One of my personal favorite duels, by the way. The preliminary joke that Sean knows the context of it when he's chasing Light Prez, like your cock is mine. He implied that I'm chasing myself, and like,
Yeah.
that kind of turned into its own meme, and like people turned it into a funny thing. It was kind of funny for a while.
Yeah, it
But I
was.
think my personal favorite though was probably from episode 10. Is not really an intended joke. PrezKoumori versus Apollo Schiffer. You guys know this one. PrezKoumori, me the character, activates Graceful Charity. I think it was. It was either that or Pot of Greed.
It was Graceful
And
Charity, I believe.
yeah, Apollo chains with mystical ref panels, so he gets to activate Graceful Charity instead of me. The very next sentence that comes out of my mouth is, "Well, thanks for taking my cards, asshole." And people seem to like that. I see like their favorite part of the episode for whatever reason. It wasn't intended to be like a real like funny thing. It's just I guess the way I delivered it, people liked it.
Yeah,
yeah.
that was fantastic.
Yeah, I think Sean brought that up to me after a while. Like he seemed to like that one too.
Yeah,
My
people
favorite
like a
Xyz
little bit of
monster.
abrasiveness.
And then,
Yeah, probably my favorite Xyz monster would be I think it's I have two again for this answer. Black Ship of Corn was a go-to for a while. The rank 4 2100 attack points. You can just send monsters to the graveyard and inflict 1,000 damage. To avoid the destroying effect, a lot of the times if I'm up against a wall or a more controlling matchup, like Black Ship of Corn actually bailed me out of a lot of those sticky situations back in the day. Um, so I had a lot of personal sentimental feelings with that one. In the opposite direction, if I just wanted a big beat stick, Zombie Steen, I think it was number
Stein, yeah.
22.
Number 22.
Yeah,
I
for
just looked it up because I know you were going to go for it.
yeah,
Yeah, it's number
4,500 attack points
points.
with two level 4s on there. Do you know what? Believe it or not, with my
Two level
deck, like
8s.
sometimes, yeah, just having Beals or anything like that, or a Thought Ruler, sometimes that just wasn't good enough. Sometimes you just need a bigger body, and it's a good way to get your opponent's life points to 0 most of the time if I feel like and go for it. So Zombie Steam was another good closer for me. And yeah, let's be honest, summoning a 4,500 attack point monster like back in that time, like 2013, 2014-ish, yeah, that felt great.
Oh yeah.
Definitely a big body. And its negate effect is also pretty decent for the time being.
I seldom used it for that, but yeah, that was kind of cute too.
Yeah. Like it was just a little bonus, obviously, other than the 4,500 attack.
Alright.
Alrighty then.
It's like if you summon that thing, you were going clubbing.
Yeah, pretty much.
I didn't play that card aggressively either. That's only like if I felt comfy knowing I could go for it, or if I had some like dark bribes or whatever in my back row, something like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Alrighty then. What is your favorite Yu-Gi-Oh archetype by Jamie Nolan to Tom?
Normally, if you would have asked me this question, I would say Cyber Dragons, but you know what? Let's pick from some newer archetypes. That Ursatic, or no, or Ursa Arctic archetype.
Yeah, the one that has
The ones that are basically dark synchros, but technically not dark synchros. But
Oh, you cut out.
I like that.
You cut out. All right, go again.
So like they're basically dark synchros in function. They're technically not dark synchros, but they function like them, and I kind of like that a lot.
Yeah. I personally don't know them that well. I need to catch up a lot because I just got back into Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, that's a relatively newer one. I think
Yeah.
that one came out in the past year or two.
Yeah, something like that.
Don't ask me about it. I
Yeah,
can't read.
you don't read. I don't even think you catch up with anything anymore other than the little minor stuff we tell you.
Yeah, I keep up. I keep up with the new releases, but that's about it in terms of like new stuff.
Yeah.
That I keep track of.
What was my favorite moment in Excalibur by Jamie Nolan? My favorite moment was probably Prez versus Prez, light versus dark. Honestly, it's probably one of the better episodes. It was very well written, back and forth. Another one would probably be the last duel between Jake and Prez. That was another very touching moment.
Oh yeah, those were bangers. I had a lot of fun doing those too.
Yeah. Those were probably my favorite episodes of all time. And obviously, you guys got to watch episode 30, was it 7 through 39? The last duel with Maverick. That's when Prez is showing a lot of fucking of his hard work and editing.
Oh, dude, hell yeah. I hated editing that episode, but I'm glad that the feedback has been so good on it.
Yeah. Maybe a pain in the ass, but it's definitely worth the effort.
Sean, I already know off the top of your dome because we talked about this, your least favorite Excalibur moment. You playing against Yuri. We were in that tornado shelter in like -20 weather
that
in Waiwega.
Fucking, that was the worst.
Oh god,
moment.
I was ready to die. My camera literally froze on us. My battery
and it fucking ruined
had its
the entire
lifespan cut short.
Yeah, that was awful. Okay, because when we uploaded it, there was quality issues. The audio went out on us. God, that shit fucking sucked. And we tried
to do a second take on it.
Yeah, we couldn't. There was no way of doing it.
Dude, that was during El Nino season too. That was like quite literally dangerous outside.
Fuck yeah.
And you're like, we must film the Yu-Gi-Oh!
We must film the Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, the talk beforehand.
I think I got frostbite doing that.
We both got frostbite.
Yeah.
I think you got
God.
And then Prez guide again for another episode too. I can't remember which one it was, but it was like so when I think
that whole winter was just terrible, dude. That was not good.
I hate filming in the winter because holy shit.
It's a pain in the ass. Alright, back to Prez. What is your favorite video game in general? Not game. What is your favorite video in general you worked on outside or inside of your channel by Dookie Darkwolf?
Sorry, garlic bread.
Yeah, it's garlic bread. he thought he had time to talk or to eat.
My apologies.
No, yeah, he's thinking. It's all good.
No, I was just trying to eat my garlic bread, dude. That's
all
it was.
Yeah, he's trying to eat his garlic bread and not get answering these damn questions.
I just got off of work, dude. I'm hungry.
I know. Yeah, for you guys who don't know, there's a 2-hour delay between us and Prez.
Yeah, these guys are in Central Time Zone. I'm in the West Coast now, living in California. Anyway, my apologies. Probably my favorite video that I've worked on. Sean touched it up on a little bit. Prez versus Light Prez, episodes 30 and 31. I mean, what can I say about it that hasn't already been said about it? Especially after Sean just talked about it. Quality was super crisp. I felt like the script just went really smooth. I had some difficulties in writing out these episodes, and trying to flesh out my scenes. You know, sometimes little incidental things happen, but I didn't have anything like that with episodes 30 and 31. Everything just went super smooth. Even little stuff like the focus on the camera, because I'm by myself most of the time, everything just turned out fantastic. We had little moments like I ended up falling back into swamp water during one of the scenes where I took
Yep.
like 2,000 points of damage. That was pretty cool. Looking back, I'm like, oh my god, did I really do that?
Fucking dedication.
Overall, like
Mm.
a super fun experience doing that. I also had a lot of fun doing the Legend of Goatman with my high school friends Mishko and Carl back in the
Oh
day. I
man,
think it
I
was
we have
like
a
just
remember
coming out of
that
high
one.
school.
That
Dude,
was fun as
funny story
shit.
about that. We have an Indian reservation by the town that I used to live in, because two of my friends were from the Indian reservation. Dude, all the high schoolers in there, like my high school, like everybody started talking about it. Like it wasn't even like being promoted or anything, like just word of mouth. Like, oh, did you see Legend of Goat Man? It was so cool. And then like I had annoying douchebag that used to like talk shit to me in high school. He's like, oh yeah, let me know if you need extras for the next one. I'm like, yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
sure.
And wasn't that like the second one you had to
Mm.
do because the first one got corrupted? Because I remember I was
Uh
because I remember we did one with myself, Vinny, and you.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
they are the
that
one.
was an entirely different thing. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
this one it was a one-day thing with myself, Carl, and Mishko, and we wanted to do a second parter the next day, and something happened with Mishko, like he needed to go home, so then I sent Carl home that day too, and we
Yeah.
just never came back to it. It's just whatever. It was one of those things where like we didn't really get to finish it.
Yeah, because
But yeah, that's
Honestly,
okay.
the Legend of Goatman being a one and done thing is probably for the best.
Yeah, it was meant to be taken seriously. It
yeah,
was just a goofy thing we did as teenagers.
yeah. Like we've done a lot of pre-recorded stuff and just never decided to upload it.
Hell yeah.
Alrighty then. To Tom, are you and your brother still playing? And if so, when do we expect a continuation of Project Games by Culture Compendium of Reviews? Culture's Compendium of Reviews.
So, a little known fact: my brother doesn't actually play Yu-Gi-Oh, even on a casual level like I do. Uh, he has like a Tristan level understanding in the game, and the rest I kind of fill in the gaps for. That said, I am still working on project games. I swear, guys. In fact, I started up a new project recently that's supposed to be meant for me to get back into the swing of things with Sean. I don't know where you are in relation to like me on your screen, but you know.
Yeah, yeah. I'm below you. I'm the bottom.
Yeah, this guy. I'm collaborating with this guy.
I accidentally skipped the question, but that's fine. We'll go back to it next round. For me, uh, Dookie Darkwolf asks, "How do I meet Prez?" And if that question's too personal, no, it's not. What got me into Yu-Gi-Oh? Well, I met Prez obviously through Excalibur. Back when it was like the early episodes. I getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh at the time because I've been playing since back when it first came through the United States when the anime showed. Me and my brother picked out started deck Seto Kaiba. Sort of just had no idea what the fuck we were doing. Just thought the anime was correct. But yeah,
Very correct.
yeah, fucking attacked Castle of Dark Illusions in center ring, and it destroys all the other monsters on the field. Some
Are you
bull-
saying that Duelist Kingdom rules wasn't accurate?
That was very accurate. It's just
Damn, I was
D&D.
about to say, like, I've been playing the
Mm.
game wrong this entire time. Like, I just play Koumori Dragon and win.
Yeah.
But yeah, I shot Prez a message realizing, hey, this guy Paction's wearing some Packer stuff. Realized this is also a very snowy area. Putting two and two together. Then I realized, oh, he mentions Wisconsin. Yeah, I live there. Maybe I should get this guy a touch. And then I did. We did he did test run with me as a duel, and since then I've been joining. Used to go up there every summer to record, and that became kind of a common thing until obviously a few years ago.
Yeah, because the COVID-19.
Yeah, that and we
Yeah,
also
that was a thing.
yeah
That
we
was
also
rough.
yeah, there was a lot of other stuff that also happened before that too. The fact that they were both adults and working all the
uh,
time. I couldn't take off the summer because I was obviously working.
Yeah, it wasn't anything personal. It's
No.
just one of those things like life gets in the way. It's just like, yeah, Sean, I'll see you whenever. I
Yeah.
don't really care.
Yeah.
We'll do this eventually.
Yeah. Alrighty then. No, Now that you've walked away from Yu-Gi-Oh! And moved on elsewhere, how do you feel progressing onward with the Excalibur finale, Culture's Companion of Reviews?
Is this one for me?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. Um, it's a little bit more difficult with having to finish up episode 40 now that I live in California. I'm more so in like Southern California, in the middle of the desert. We do have a mountain village that I do have access to. I can get away with getting into some of the more forest-like portions for the episode. It's gonna take some driving, and I gotta get my girlfriend to come over and help me out. I guess it's just a matter of time constriction and finding a way to actually squeeze in the time to get this thing finished. I do have little bits and pieces of filming that I've already gotten finished. Uh, it's just a matter of like dedicating, say, like one day every like week or two around my work and magic grinding schedule to make this happen. So it's going to be a challenge, but I still have all of my editing equipment. I still got my camera, my tripod. It's just a matter of finishing this thing.
Yep. Everyone's waiting on it, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't say.
but yeah, man.
When's the next episode,
When's
damn
the
it?
next episode, damn? Yeah. You have no idea how we've been asked that many fucking times separately.
Yeah. Sometimes I even get asked, "Hey, can you
though.
ask Prez when the next episode
Oh,
is?"
Oh, you're friends with
I mean,
Prez.
I understand it though. It's just
Yeah,
you know
but
it gets a little bit tiresome after a while.
Yeah, it's like, guys, we're in our 20. We're close. Well, all of us are close to the age of 25, if not older. And
Yeah.
we have bills to pay and shit. Like,
Bills.
yeah, we gotta fucking we
Are
got.
you talking about my vitamin pills?
Yeah, we're taking
The Flintstone
pills.
gummies.
Yeah, I thought. Did I say
Oh
pills?
yeah,
I thought I said bills.
I would take those before every Yu-Gi-Oh duel, and I would just 2-0 everybody. Take my Flintstone vitamins.
All right. To Tom, what is your favorite soundtrack? Can be from video game, TV show, anime, movie, or otherwise by Doogie Darkwolf.
It's not really a soundtrack, but I really like the band Crush 40. They do a lot of Sonic stuff. I mean, if you've heard of Crush 40, you've probably heard of them through the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. Otherwise, though, I'm a really big fan of a lot of early 2000s stuff. One song that comes to mind, "Bring Me to Life" from what's their name?
Wake me up!
Wake me up inside!
Yeah,
Wake up!
Wake me up inside!
Save me!
Hey man! Dude, that song is a meme at this point.
Yeah,
It's
it's
been like
still
20
big.
years.
Yeah.
I still fucking listen to it this day.
Yeah, it's overplayed and it's a meme, but we still love
No,
it.
we still love it. Band's amazing.
Oh yeah.
Alright, Cultures of Compendium of Reviews asked me, what does the fox say? My fucking name.
The AshJester.
My God.
Right. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. Oh,
Yeah.
right. Back to Prez. Did you ever think that a bit of you and Paction having a duel in the snow would ever inspire so many other people to become the universe it has by R. Marshall?
Garlic bread.
Garlic bread comes first.
Gloric bread.
That's his answer. All right, go to Tom. Kidding.
I keep underestimating how short you keep these questions for yourself, Sean. Dude, it's really funny to me because I did not expect Excalibur to blow up the way that it had when I had first uploaded it. It didn't even have a name to it. Like, if I were to go back in time and know that I would have like dedicated as much time and energy as I would have, I probably would have written out the script a lot differently. Like, it wasn't intended to be a full seasonal thing. Like, I just made stuff up as a intended for a one-off, and then I had a bunch of people asking about like things with the plot, like what happened to Prez, like did he eventually get there? What happens to Paxton afterwards? You know, I want to see more of like Prez's deck. Like I had a lot of early comments like that. The first episode, like, admittedly kind of sucked because, like, I didn't really know what I was doing at the time. I was just kind of going off my own thing.
I mean,
But
no one
I
really
uploaded,
does.
yeah, episodes 2 and 3. As soon as I started going along with those, I told Paxton, I'm like, dude, we could actually make a run at this. Like, people seem to like this stuff. It's crazy. It, like I said, it wasn't intended to be a full on like episode based thing. It was just supposed to be the one off thing. But I just wanted to dip my feet in the waters and see how this would turn out if I just wanted to do Yu-Gi-Oh! S stuff because it was something I was passionate about at the time. And it was mind-boggling too because it eventually got to a point, I think it was like 20 something episodes in. The guys from Revelations, who I kind of got my inspiration from, and Seth from Card Heroes, they eventually started texting me themselves. I'm like, oh my god, like this is
Yeah.
these people actually like what I'm doing. Like, holy shit, really?
And that's important to think about. Like, for as long as, Excalibur's been around for, there are other series that have been around for even longer than that.
Yeah, people try to make it out like I'm the pioneer in live action
No,
stuff. That's just not true. Obviously,
no.
like Revelations, Card Heroes,
De-evolution.
De-Evolution is another one too. Like I got to
Uh,
give those guys all the credit in the world. Like I didn't pave the way for those guys, but for anybody that's like come after me and credited me for like inspiring to do this, I'm always grateful to hear that. I
yeah.
I just didn't I underestimated the ripple effect that it would have after like making episodes like 3, 4 and onwards.
Yeah. All right. I am using my mouse, but I'm not supposed to be using my mouse. Back to Tom. All right. Speaking of Sly, do you
Yeah.
consider the Tom versus Sly Hito dual canon or non-canon to the overall Excalibur dimension by Art Marshall?
All right.
I like
So
the version where Tommy loses.
yeah, and that's the version I consider canon, as much as that might piss some people off.
Tommy, I was
uh,
saying that as a joke.
I know.
Yeah, but he yeah, we
We have
actually
this thing, by the way. I always rib on Tommy. It's a funny
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I've been
But
doing that for like
Yeah.
7 years.
Yeah, never get tired of
7 years.
it.
Damn it, Tommy.
Yeah. But to elaborate on that, obviously there are two versions of the duel, one where Tom wins, one where Sly wins. As I said already, I consider the Sly winning the canon ending. But it's like, given how I'm like rebooting Project Games, the first season anyway, I'd say a version of those events are canon. Maybe not exactly how they play out in the duel that we see, but certainly, the victor of said duel.
Yeah,
If
so
that answers the
in a
question.
sense, it's its own can of worms. Like it's
Yeah.
not canon to the actual timeline itself. It's its own separate self-imposing. It obviously has it's there.
So, yeah, Card Heroes is technically connected to Project Games in that sense.
Yeah,
Not
to
like
its universe. To its
you'll
universe.
yeah.
Yeah,
Not like you'll see them cross over regularly kind of way though.
yeah, yeah. Just hey, fans thought this would be cool.
Yeah.
Right. Judging by Balderock, appearing on the banner at the end is your new deck zombies currently. Also, have you ever considered attempting to make Armageddon again by R. Marshall to me? Uh, Funny thing about that, the reason why I picked that for the banner is because it's the deck I run in real life right now. I have been running zombies for quite a while in honor of Prez. Prez was running zombies into states and such like that for a while now. Or back in the day, obviously, I should say.
Yeah, that's getting to like
Yeah.
I think that was like early mid 2015 when I started really going ham with zombies. Yeah, that used to be my go-to competitive deck when I made a lot of my like statewide runs.
Yeah. And then I obviously picked it up and it's like, you know what? I have another friend that got into zombies and like, you know what? I've always loved zombie tribal. I play it all the time in Magic the Gathering and standard when it's in rotation or out of rotation and then in other things. So I picked that up. You may well
Plus,
actually
zombies are cool as shit.
yeah, we may make it canon. We don't know yet. Might work around that.
Mm.
As for Armageddon, I am picking up the pieces. There's been a lot of issues. The reason why it's been so delayed. One of them is being obviously a lot of the actors. Well, two of them moved out of state. One of them passed away, unfortunately, and that was the biggest hit. He had land that he owned that we were allowed to use, so that caused a lot of issues, and it kind of basically gave me this iffy, like, the feeling like, do I want to continue this without them? Because I don't, and yeah, for a while now, but I'm rewriting the first script. So I've been ordering a few stuff. I've got another dial disc going on. We've fixed up that one in the back. You can clearly see. So we'll work on it. Back to Prezi Boy, or should I say Prezikins, from that one episode of Project Games.
Oh God.
I hate you. Tommy, you wrote that. I hate you too.
I did, didn't I?
All right.
I'll kill you.
All right. So here's
What you got for me?
Okay. So we're going back on asking if stuff is canon. Is White Dragon Legacy canon to the Excalibur mentioned by Ralph Knight?
Okay, yeah, it's not my first time being asked this question either. After my appearances in episode 4 and 5, I like the cast for Legacy. Like, Mike was pretty nice, and Erin, I obviously have a lot of history with her, as she's kind of aforementioned in the comments in her episodes. With that said, unfortunately, I gotta say it's not canon. I think this is more appropriate to say that it's a one-sided relationship, like Tommy had mentioned with Sly Hito, like one version canon, but the other isn't. I would say that for I'm gonna say just my timeline, the Excalibur timeline of the events in my series, it's not canon, but this can be in a branch in the aftermath because obviously White Dragon Legacy, it takes place sometime after Excalibur. I don't know if it was ever specified, but you can use that in one branch of continue to say like, hey, this is something that could happen.
Yeah.
So I think it would at least be fair enough to say that the events in Excalibur are canon in White Dragon Legacy. I think that's fair enough to say.
Yeah. Basically, they're allowed to use the product that Prez has made for their production and such, and we're perfectly fine with that. Like, obviously, Prez
So, like,
used to be
Yeah.
to kind of condense into simple terms, White Dragon Legacy is basically like an Elseworld timeline. If we really wanted to go down that road of
Okay.
canonicity.
Yeah, similar to Project Games. It's just another branch of aftermath events after the events of Excalibur. I think that's the best way that I can put it.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's a little bit complicated. Like I said, I got a lot of love for the cast and
Oh yeah,
everything.
no,
Mike
they
was
seem
pretty nice.
fantastic.
Oh yeah.
do
They
an
are
awesome
they
job.
are good.
They do
They
an
are
awesome
good.
Fun fact
job.
here, Erin being one of the first, probably the first female protagonist. Actually, I've known her since 2009, before I was even PrezKoumori. She was actually an ex-girlfriend of mine for a while. There's a little bombshell drop here for you.
What?
It was just a thing, like we used to just like talk over YouTube Messenger. We were like stupid kids back then. At like,
God,
I guess you
I
could barely
remember
count it, but
Messenger.
that's not to say like, oh, do you still like Prez? Blah 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 blah. This was a long time ago. Like, we started obviously talking after the fact. Oh, we're a lot tighter now since then. Like, we kind of like rekindled it a little bit, just kind of talking as friends.
Yeah, because obviously.
Mike actually came up to Erin in episode 1 of doing Legacy and actually said to her, this is kind of based on one of my favorite YouTubers. You ever hear of PrezKoumori? Erin goes, well, funny you mention. I'll kind of turn it into a funny thing. Like, what are the chances, honestly?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Like that's
Regardless, still
hilarious.
really, really cool that I got to work that series with her.
Yeah, no, that is awesome. And then, all right, to Tom, which episode of Excalibur so far has been your favorite, and why? By Logan Cox.
Well, I haven't watched it recently, but like we keep revisiting the episodes that the light and regular Prez duel take place in. Those are some of my favorite episodes. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, that was probably like one of the highlights of the entire series.
Oh yeah. Just seeing the contrast there between, you know, the Prez we know and then a light reflection of him.
A Prez that we
Yeah,
Very
no,
interesting.
it's mostly supposed to be like, oh, this is evil, Prez. No, this was
No.
intentionally done to say, like, hey, you know, Prez, you know, you took a big L against your brother. You know, you're being bad. You know, you're slipping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prez is never evil.
Because, like, you
It's
gotta
more
keep
like
in
the
mind.
anti-hero vibes. This
Yeah,
was
yeah, I
more
was
of like
anti-hero.
a mental thing to help him get back on track.
Yeah.
I'm glad that people appreciated that turn that I put on it. I'm still pretty proud of that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Alrighty then. To me, since you started streaming and everything, when are you going back to live action? As soon as possible. Whenever these guys need me.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've been buying the equipment and such to get that. I bought myself a green screen today. That's pre-ordered. I bought myself another Dual Academy GX Dual Disc. That was a lot cheaper than I expected. Hopefully that comes in. Fingers crossed. And grabbing the people I had for the Armageddon project, and we are rebuilding that from the ground up. Hopefully that doesn't die again.
Yeah. Blame a little bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm going to go back to Tom, then I'll go. We'll do the last question for Prez, the main question before we go back to all of us. Prez knows this question already, and he knows what I'm going to do.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh no! This is the last one. Okay, cool. Okay, Prez. Does have a tripod where he's going to do episode 40 of Excalibur by Action Shark.
What? Okay, hold on. I gotta read this myself. Does haul a tripod when he's gonna do episode 40 of Excalibur? Yeah, you got a bit of grammar issues there, buddy. I don't really know if he's asking me if I am gonna do episode 40 or if I have a tripod. I'm gonna default to that and say yes, I have a tripod. We already talked about episode 40.
All right. We had to. Sorry, if we're breaking on ya, it's just for jokes. All right, to all of us, what is your favorite God card, and which is in your opinions by Jamie Nolan? Personally, when the first God cards actually were printed, I want to say Slife of the Sky Dragon was the best, until Ra got updated to have its other two forms. And I'm going to say Ra all the way now, both throughout anime, manga, and obviously real life.
For me, I have a little bit of a bias. My favorite is Obelisk. However, I do agree that Raw is the best one.
Yeah, I gotta save Raw, of course. I mean, what else can you say in the face of all that support that it's gotten recently? And obviously in the anime, it's been hyped up to be super overpowered. We've all seen the show, I'm sure. You would know this. I took a little bit of a different approach to this question, considering any sort of god cards, like maybe including Sacred Beast. Personally, I really like the Wicked Avatar. Touching base on the Wicked god cards a little bit, but you know, I guess like Tommy said, I have a little bit of bias with that myself.
Yeah, like I am. Uriah would probably be my favorite Sacred Beast out of the group, but Slifer was also probably my first god card that I've
Yeah, I guess you could say like anything that has a case to be considered a divine beast
What else?
or have the divine attribute.
Yeah. Because what other gods? There's the two of them from Zexal. I don't think there were any technically in Arc 5. There's none in Vrains that I know of. There's the Nordics.
And then 5Ds they had
Maya.
what, Earthbound Immortals?
Well, they had the Earthbound Immortals, they had the Nordic gods.
The Nordic gods were more of the god cards.
Yeah, the Earthbounds were more just like, you know,
giant
undead, scary things.
Giant
big boss things.
Equal to the Steiner Dragons.
And there's so many that count that like it exceeds the number of 3.
I don't know. Can we consider the Crimson Dragon a god? Because some people.
I feel like that's its own beast entirely,
Yeah.
like a separate entity from the gods.
Yeah, that one I guess I would have to say no to. I mean, that's kind of a tough question though.
Yeah.
Now it has power on par to the gods, but it's like it's its own beast entirely.
Alrighty then. Next question for all of us. If you guys were to duel in a battle royale between each other, who would win? By Dookie Darkwolf.
Well, I'm counting myself out immediately, both in real life and in live action, because honestly, out of the three of us, no, I don't have that great of a deck.
It's
Oh,
Prez.
come on.
It's Prez.
Are we talking for like in character or like real life skills between us?
In character, I would say it's going to be Prez.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. The answer is going to be me either way. And Sean, you're the main factor in this, believe it or not.
Really now?
Yeah. So check this shit
Hmm.
out. Did you guys know that I'm a part-time mathematician?
Did you go to
I
college
did
for that?
not.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
like one class that one semester. All right. So Sean, I'm gonna explain this the best way that I can for your smooth brain.
Okay.
So you know how they say that all men are created equal, but I don't know, man. You look at me and then you look at Sean and Tommy here, and then you can see that statement's just not true. See, normally if you were to go one-on-one with another duelist, you got a 50-50 chance at winning, but I'm a shit-talking freak and I'm not normal. So, Sean, you got a 25% chance at best at beating me, and then you add Tommy to the mix, your chances of winning drastically go down. See, in a three-way between us, you got normally a 33 and a third chance at winning, but I got a 66 and two-thirds chance at winning because Tommy knows he can't beat me, and he's not even gonna try. So, Sean, you take your 33 and a third chance minus my 25% chance, and you got an 8 and a third chance at winning this thing. But then you take my 75% chance if we were to go one-on-one, and then add 66 and two-thirds chance that we were just talking about. I got a 141 and two-thirds chance at winning the triple threat duel. See, Sean, the numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you.
Didn't he lose that match?
So Mojo, he lost that match.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was Scott Steiner.
Yeah,
He did the Scott Steiner
yeah.
promo.
Yeah.
Samoa Joe beat him.
Yeah, Samoa Joe. I'm going to somehow just pull out now and just... What?
Yeah, it feels a little bit rough, kind of like a bad beat when you have a 141 and two-thirds % chance at winning a duel and you still lose. Probably just retire after that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, my hand is full of hand traps. I literally don't have any monsters. What happened?
What happened? What am I doing with my life?
Yeah, so
Fuck.
that can happen.
Right. After
But
that.
yeah, to answer the question, I have a 141 and two-thirds chance at beating both of these guys. Bet money on it. I did the math myself.
All right.
Figured you guys would appreciate that.
Is there any is there anything you really regret canonizing after some later thought? Is there anything you're proud of canonizing in the entire universe by North Matthews? This is the last question.
Well, canonizing, Excalibur being canon, that's the obvious one for me.
Canonizing pretty much.
For me personally, I think I kind of regret. Sean was talking about this a little bit ago. Kind of towards the end, I probably should have just said no to the idea entirely. Sean's heel turn, knowing that we didn't really have enough time, and I think he had like 2 days left with me at the time.
And then shit fucking happened. I remember that.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna have enough time to like stretch everything together and squeeze in Prez versus Maverick.
And then my parents called
do like
up,
3
like,
episodes
hey.
and then do a call off afterwards. But yeah, it just didn't turn out the way that I thought it would. Another reason why the Prez versus Maverick is going like 5 episodes, but I was able to make it work regardless. But I definitely think I could have handled that differently myself too.
Yeah, that was. We didn't expect that random phone call. Like, hey, Sean, you have to go home early. What? I was so fucking pissed about that. I remember that.
Yeah, I don't think I saw you for like another 6 months after
Yeah, there
that.
was a family emergency and shit, and I had to leave. And,
Oh, that was
and then
rough.
when I got there, it wasn't as much of a fucking emergency as they made it out to be. And so it
If it
was,
makes you feel any better, I had to cut a trip to Iowa shirt because of that with somebody else.
yeah. Oh, yeah. And then, obviously, I love Shadowmere, but I felt like I fucked up his background story and shit like that. So, kind of want to fix that up. We may retcon a little bit of a few things. Obviously, I'm going to go through the paperwork with Prez and get him the okay, ask the okay with that. Like, hey, you're fine with like connecting this with this and such like that. But yeah, that's like the only issue I really had. And then obviously the heel turn was meant to be a massive build up for Prez versus Sean that we might not be beginning.
Yeah, for me, and what's something I regret canonizing, the whole being able to take control of a person from episode 1 that I never used.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I forgot that you did that. Like, what the
Yeah,
hell was that?
it's like I never used it, and it got to the point where people forgot that that was a thing in episode 1, and also the nickname thing. That's another thing I regret, and I tried my best to kind of damage control at the end of.
I mean, to be
season
fair,
1.
you were like a
under
preteen or something
yeah,
around the
you were
time. Like you were just
definitely
getting started yourself.
Oh
you were
yeah, I
just
was
starting.
like, fresh out of middle school when I started Project Games.
Yeah, pretty much. So
Still, you can imagine whenever I watch episode 2, I just cringe when I hear myself yell the name, like the username Mario 360. It's like that is so cringe.
Yeah, there was another one. You're like, oh, hey Mario 360. I'm like, wait,
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
Yeah, but
Wait,
I mean,
we're not here to knock on the early stuff though.
like, yeah, you plan on redoing the entire season 1, so we're not going to give you that much shit. Plus, you were extremely young at the time, and you were doing it for protection.
All right, what did you like canonizing, Mr. Tommy?
I already said the Excalibur dimension.
Yeah, the Excalibur dimension is a whole connected to that. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
I'm personally really proud of canonizing the Wicked God cards because simply put, I just didn't think that they got enough love. Like I knew that the guys at Card Heroes had done some stuff for the Wicked God cards, but like they had stuff for Egyptian God cards, Sacred Beasts, Synchro era stuff, but the Wicked God cards kind of got skipped over as a manga only thing, and I didn't feel like anybody was doing it enough justice. So I don't know. I felt like I had to like give it that kind of due justice myself. I created the entire like um premise of Dead Side, the consequences of playing a Wicked God cards, uh more destructive than the Egyptian God cards because these are not meant to be held up, period. Like these are like the equivalent of satanic artifacts.
If you haven't read the manga, read
good.
Yu-Gi-Oh! R and you'll realize why he's been doing what he's doing.
Yeah, I wanted to bring something like that to life in a platform outside of the manga because some people weren't even aware of the Wicked God cards. Like I wanted to bring that to the attention, and well, to be honest, I like the edgy stuff as I still do today. You can see me with my leather jacket. It's just I never grew out of that.
But yeah, that was the last question. But yeah, obviously if you haven't followed yet, follow each of us at our own links. And I guess we'll see you guys.
I think everybody here's got Twitter.
We have Twitter.
Everybody here's got Twitch.
Twitch, Facebook. Obviously,
don't go to Facebook. That'd be kind of weird.
No.
Yeah.
We have our own. I know we have our Facebook pages, as in like for like Excalibur as in a series. Myself as
I haven't posted on the where admittedly, but yeah, we do still have those.
Okay, yeah, that's all. That was what I was trying to refer to.
I think, to be honest, if you wanted to reach out to any of us personally, I think Twitter would be the most appropriate way to do that.
Yeah, Twitter.
I mean, I know Twitter's kind of a cesspool nowadays, but just bear with us.
Dude, it fucking always has been. I just got it. Like, I just started Twitter, like, I think, like, a year and a half ago. Like, I made my account 10 years ago, never fucking used it. And then started using it
when Is it appropriate to say more of a cesspool?
Yeah,
it's got... Take it from someone who's had an account for, like, 6 years, at least. Yeah, it's kind of gone downhill.
Everything's been gone to hell. But yeah, obviously, PrezKoumori, Mr. Awesome, TheAshJester, signing off. Have a good one, everybody, and we'll see you next time.